Air, water, earth, fire. For hundreds of years, the four nations have lived in harmony. The Avatar, master of all four elements, has always been responsible for maintaining the peace. But Avatar Roku passed away 13 years ago, and now the four nations look to the air nomads to reveal the next Avatar. But the world is met with silence. 5 young heroes stopped a secret Fire Nation invasion on their way to deliver the news of the air nomad genocide to Ba Sing Se. Now the world knows of the loss of the air nomads, and both the water tribes and the Earth Kingdom prepare for all-out war. But as harmony is dissolved, our young heroes need to address the agitated spirits and bring peace back to the world. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Flying Bison Podcast. I am your GM, Justin Nita. I'm joined by 5 absolutely incredible players. Steve Durgan as Rensong.
Hi.
There are 2 Steves, I guess. Danny Wickman as Rozuk Launcher.
It continues.
Nick Coplin as Chae Now Launcher.
It won't continue for much longer.
We got Monroe Hayden as Liko of the Foggy Swamp.
Hey.
And good old Johnny Button as
Howdy.
Osa Tenguin. Johnny, you started something, and I'd love for you to do it for everybody. You told me before we started recording you've been working on some impressions of all of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. Let's start with a classic. Let's start with your Steve Durgan impression.
Yeah, hey, I am Steve Durgan, and I live in Barcelona.
Not really. He lives in Madrid. Dox him.
For the record, that was actually just me talking. Johnny hasn't started his impression yet.
Yeah. Johnny, can you do the impression?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hey, I'm Steve Durgan, and this is the impression now.
Steve, stop interrupting him.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Steve, that's really rude. Okay.
Sorry. I know.
That was incredible. That was
really good.
indistinguishable.
I'm really good.
It's very. Now we all know you got a great Steve Durgan impression. I'd love to hear your Nick Coplin impression.
Hey guys, it's me, Nick Coplin.
That's what he sounds like. That's pretty accurate.
That is definitely what I sound like.
Yeah,
Good.
That's definitely Nick for sure. That's spot on. I feel like you're gonna struggle with this one, Johnny. What does your Monroe sound like?
Hey, it's me, I'm Merrai.
I mean, that's what I hear.
That's what I hear too. Yeah. Well, one more time. Something else that Monroe could say.
Yeah, something typical, like something Monroe always says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a fountain around?
It's pretty accurate. That sounds just like her. Johnny, I'm scared to ask this. What is your Justin impression?
Hey, it's me, Justin.
It's so grating.
Oh man, why does anyone listen to our podcast?
Could we survive
just-
that?
Just listen
This
to
is a wake up.
yeah, so wake up.
This is like when you hear a recording of your voice and it doesn't sound like what you thought it was, and you're terrified. Like, what if that was it?
What if that is actually how I sound? You know, I actually had a moment like this a couple years ago. So much of my life, I thought I had a little bit of a lisp. And I was listening to the Kardashians speak, and I was like, I don't think I have a lisp. I think I have a little bit of that Southern California vocal fry. Like, it doesn't come out a lot, but it's just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I sound like I grew up in Southern California, which I did grow up in Southern California. And it's not a lisp, it's a vocal fry.
It's a good reason.
Yeah. Is it though? Is it?
I mean, what? just being influenced by your surroundings? I think so.
It's completely natural, Justin.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. Oh, thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
Now, we haven't heard it yet, and I feel like this is going to be the most accurate. What is your Danny impression?
There it is.
That's it. I don't think I've ever heard Danny use words. I think he just gasps like
just
like
Tourette.
an anime character.
I think so.
I've actually never intentionally spoken. It's all been compulsive. I've just let my Tourette's take the front stage.
Any of these words.
We should say, Danny, you actually do have.
Oh
Tourette's.
no, yes,
we're not
I do.
making fun of people that have Tourette's. Danny
Except
actually,
for Danny, who happens to have Tourette's.
Except for
Danny
me. But we're
can
making
make
fun of
jokes
Danny, not the
Yeah.
Not
Tourette's.
Tourette's.
Correct. Yes, we're making fun of Danny, not the Tourette's, because the joke that everything you've said for the last season and a half has all been compulsory is a very funny joke. That's very funny. Well,
I've just been trying not to speak this entire time.
I mean,
Welcome to this podcast, Danny. We'd love for you to be a cast member, and you try not to speak.
Don't say
every
anything.
session.
I feel like I don't even need to do this. I would like Johnny. You can just run the whole session, play all the characters.
We can just go home.
And we'll just go home.
Why don't you guys go relax, be with your families, just spend some time enjoying yourselves.
Light a fire.
And I, Justin Nita, am gonna get this going.
No.
All right, guys, welcome to the Flying Bison Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Nita.
No.
Please stop.
No.
I really hope I don't sound like that. Oh, no. Well, wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you, Johnny, for giving us all a good laugh on this.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for the
Johnny.
opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Steve, do you have an impression of Johnny that you could do while you're doing the CTA?
Oh gosh, no.
Hi, I'm Johnny Button, and if you like what you're hearing at this exact moment, please support our podcast, and thank you for all those who do. That is all.
Johnny, where can they support us?
Link in the show notes. You can help us out on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, which is what it costs to get a Pet Mate Kitty Caps pet food can topper. In case you aren't aware. If you already have one of those, you're all set. You can help us out instead of buying more of them. It does keep pet foods fresh, even if they're wet.
That's good. Man, I mean, that's Johnny.
That was
He's
spot on.
vaguely Russian, and
I didn't get that.
no,
No, I'm with you. No.
yeah, mix with me.
All right. Well, some people pick up some Russian and some didn't. So, just like Johnny.
That's why it's vague.
Just like Johnny. Yeah, I said vaguely Russian. Well, thank you so much for listening to us pretend to be each other. How about we jump into the session?
Oh,
I think
that's a good idea.
Sounds like it's time. Yeah.
we should probably play the
time we're
games
here to
after.
Yeah, we should probably play Avatar Legends.
Yeah.
Last week on the Flying Bison Podcast, you decided that the next mission you were going to take was to stop the Fire Nation from hunting dragons. When you arrived, you found a massive army that were baiting dragons with prisoners. The crew, you guys, set a plan in motion to stop them, which included a dangerous Agni Kai between Chae and the general. And with some sleight of hand, you convinced the army that Chae was the Avatar, and Chae caused enough chaos in the arena that everyone started fleeing. Osa confronted an old enemy / maybe unwitting ally, General Saikon, and let him flee. You were unfortunately too late to save the dragon, and so the launchers ran to the cave and witnessed a wonder that few people in this world get to witness: the dragon dance, which is the original fire-bending form. And that is where we left off. as these dragons dance around in the sky. What are each of you thinking about and feeling as you see these dragons in the air?
I think Ren's face is covered in tears. I think he's kind of gazing just past the corpse of a dragon as he watches these very alive dragons do something unspeakably beautiful in the sky, and their dance is just such a contrast with the horrors of killing dragons for sport.
Yeah.
I think he's just frozen.
I think likewise, Otsa is just sitting. He's like not even standing anymore. He's sat down and he's just looking up at them, taking in the sight, and really thinking about the fact that the dragons are probably the only other beings on the planet that know what it feels like to be an airbender and watch everyone you've known be killed.
I think Chae is just he's teared up, like there's tears streaming down his face, but he's like smiling this like huge smile, and like I think at some point he like, I assume Rozuk is like standing next to him, he just reaches out and puts a hand on his shoulder and like just kind of smiles at him and smiles up at the dragon dance.
Yeah. Rozuk, like looking at these dragons, his face is filled with tears as well. He still feels like an immense amount of guilt because he was right there with the dragon that was killed, and he just couldn't find anything to do, and so he felt like that life was just sort of whisked away from his hands. But still, at like staring in awe at this beauty, he can't help but smile a little bit through all the pain that he's feeling right now. And he shares a look with Chae as well.
Niko, you were with Ren, standing by the body of the dead dragon that you tried in vain to save. What is Liko thinking or feeling as she looks up in the sky as these dragons dance around each other?
I mean, she's thinking about Rue. She's thinking about a lot of things, actually. But Rue, for one, that she's free. And kind of makes her wonder if she's been treating her right, too. Because Rue is always at their beck and call. Not, doing what Rue would like to do. And who knows what that would be, because I don't think Liko's ever asked. I don't think anyone's ever asked. So just thinking about that, and she's also thinking about Chae and where he's at and if he's okay. Because I guess seeing there's two dragons, right, split up, and probably thinks about like life partners and stuff, and she's Chae just runs through her mind.
It's a lot. These dragons soar in the sky for a little bit, dancing around each other, and eventually they land in front of Chae and Rozuk. And they just sort of stare at the two of you.
I think Rozuk at this point, much like Chae did last episode, will like drop to the ground in like a full bow and just through tears say, "I'm sorry, I couldn't save him or her. I don't know."
And there is silence. And then the ground starts to rumble as you look up in the sky, and the red dragon that you saw on Nojai Island comes soaring down through the clouds and lands between the two dragons and the two of you. Wrapped around its tail, like in its tail, is the egg that was there. I see. You have you've done it. And at what cost? Thank you. Both of you.
You don't have to thank us. This was our responsibility. Stop.
No, it was not. The world is out of balance. That does not make the troubles of the world your responsibilities. You have helped, but it is all 4 nations that must work together. You carry too much on your shoulders.
Jay kind of looks down and doesn't really say anything.
What happened to our brother? He sort of looks off into the distance at the body of the dragon by Ren and Liko.
The Fire Nation platoon that was here, battalion, put out some sort of bait, live human bait, to draw the dragons out. I'm assuming trying to starve them out by camping outside of their cave. And when that one came out, they all just opened fire. Didn't really have a chance.
Despicable. Dragons are a proud race. We prefer to die with honor, not with a hunger in our belly.
He fought magnificently. He just was fighting against unfair odds.
I fear the time of the dragons is coming to an end. And he turns to the other 2 dragons. We must flee. I have heard of a place that is protected. We may be safe there. Gather what you can. We will leave as soon as we are able to. He turns back to the 2 of you. I believe I had promised that we would train you. A dragon always honors its word.
Rozuk will stand up, and say, a great progenitor of firebending culture. Would you hold out his hands and accept me as a humble apprentice? Opens one eye to look at him and closes it again.
What is he doing? I already told the 2 of you I'd train you.
Yeah, I don't. What do you?
Oh,
dude, put your arms down. What do you?
No,
You're good.
puts his arm.
You're good.
And goes back into a bow.
Are you making fun of me because I don't have any arms?
Oh,
Dude,
he puts his arms behind his back.
Just stand up. He just pulls. Jay just pulls Rozuk up onto his feet. Get your freaking arms in front of you.
My brothers and sisters and I will show you the forms. Is there anything specific you want to try?
Rozuk will say, he starts searching through his bag, like throwing random things out, like really old food that should not be in there for as long as it was.
Oh man!
Like,
what is that moving?
Don't worry about that. Actually, I want to save that 1 second. What's it? Pulls out the scroll case from way back when. I have something here. I don't know if you wanted to look at.
Show me for him, man.
He goes, here, let me show you. He walks up to the dragon nonchalantly and just pulls out this half of a scroll. Kind of like holds it up in front of him. Can you see that fine?
He bends down to look at it.
Heel to
I don't know how to read.
Well, it says
It's
what?
like half a description of
it says
some
step
bending form.
one.
Yeah.
Step one.
Nothing.
Blank.
Step two. Nothing.
Step two. Do the blank. Step 6. And then blank.
To interject, I'm imagining that there's partial forms represented somehow.
Absolutely. It's like the beginning
so
of
if you
the
want
form.
to convey this, Danny, you should do some of the forms that are on there, but it'll be an incomplete dance.
Yeah. This is also me asking you and giving you the opportunity to say, what fighting technique do you want this dragon to teach you?
So, basically, the scroll depicts, from the part that we have, it depicts some form of fiery breath technique. We don't know fully what it is, but it uses that inner fire technique to breathe out a gout of flame.
I love that. And I like that, like, the first 2 steps are in there, and then like the last step, but you don't know like the in between. So like you see the form like getting set up, and then you see what happens when you do it, and but you don't know all the in between.
The end step is the result where you can breathe out such a heavy gout of flame where you can propel yourself.
Those are 2 different things. Those are 2 different fighting techniques.
They are?
There is magma, there's fire breath, and then there's what's called jet stepping. Jet stepping is flying. So I will let you decide what one you want. Breath of fire is what it's called. And where is it? Breath of fire, and why do I not see it here? Jet stepping, yeah. Fire. Breath of fire and jet stepping. Those are the 2. You take a look at those, Mr. Chae now Launcher. He has asked you what you want the dragons to teach. Looks like you're looking at a list too. It should obviously make sense for a dragon. I don't really care to be like, they don't know that fighting technique. We'll do that with people, but I feel like limiting a dragon's fighting techniques seems a little silly to me.
Just disrespectful, yeah. They know. They just know. Come on.
They just know. They know it all.
They invented this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be like lava wave, the technique.
Okay.
Lava star felt too small scale.
Lava wave. Okay. Let's all right. We're gonna do the training move in a little bit. You say this, and he goes, we will show you the dragon dance. Show you the forms. But first, and he at this point now beckons for the other three to come closer.
Hesitantly, Ren approaches.
Yeah, Osa steps forward.
The 5 of you have witnessed something that few have seen. The original firebenders. We are the original firebenders. And you have seen the great fire dance that undergirds it all. And now, despite the loss of our brother, I invite all of you, to see something else that even fewer have seen. Look. And he points his head towards the body of the dragon. And as you turn around, the flesh starts to like burn, almost as if like ash is being let up into the air. And soon the whole body starts to like turn into this like light and ash that just delicately floats up into the air before dissipating. And it's almost like this beautiful fire light show. You've never seen anything like it. It's twinkling and enrapturing. And then as it ends, all that's left is the bones of this dragon. From fire we came, and from fire we return. It is the way of rebirth and the cycle of life.
I look at Osa. I don't say anything.
Yeah,
Just look
I
at him.
don't think Osa even notices. Osa's enraptured with this whole thing.
Rozuk looks at Ren and doesn't say anything.
Ren looks at the dragon and says something.
Way to mix it up. Way to mix it up.
You're really pushing me here, guys. Oh. Does this mean that your brother is alive?
In a way, he has become ash and fire incarnate. He resides now in our bellies, and every time we breathe fire, every time we defend ourselves or attack, we will remember him. It is how we honor those that have left us.
Ren looks slightly saddened by this answer, but says no more.
Enough of this somber attitude. It is time. And he lets out a roar, and you see the two dragons that had gone back into the cave to start prepping everyone else, all the other dragons to leave, come back out. And they spend the better part of the day. And to learn this, it takes some time. So probably like at least a day of like training with these dragons and following them. But you start to pick up on this dance. And it's very interesting that Chae is learning it too as not a firebender, he's an earthbender. But the form, something about it just makes sense to you. It's almost like that's been under how you bend this entire time. And I think that's probably what helps kind of connect your earthbending and the firebending enough to do the lava bending.
Yeah. I think it's really a missing puzzle piece for Jay.
Yeah, you like started to get moments of this with King Malu and Ba Sing Se, but this is really kind of what connects the two of them for you. So I think it's time for both the launchers to roll the training move.
Here we go.
Let's answer some questions. Is your balance in line with your center, or are you free of conditions?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
You just need a yes. You just need a yes to one.
Oh,
of them.
okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So take +1. Do you and your teacher share at least one background? This one we might play around with. Why don't you tell me what your
Airbender
Background.
How about this? I let you guys essentially pick the training technique you wanted, the fighting technique. Normally, animals and spirits don't teach you things. I don't think they have backgrounds like you do. So I might just say no.
That's fine. That's fair.
Okay. Let me ask you this first. What is your reason for learning these techniques?
To burn Ba Sing Se to the ground.
Yes, to rise up as a new Fire Lord and burn Ba Sing Se, along with the rest of the 4 nations, to the ground and become emperor of the entirety of the world.
Good, yes.
Yes. Do it.
Yes. Let your hate flow through you. Do it. Do it.
Well, I mean, Rozuk feels he's never actually had like an actual teacher. I mean, sure, Dosa helped train with him, and his mom helped him with earthbending techniques, but he's never really been able to get this in touch with his firebending culture before. So that's really the overarching reason. Like Rozuk's throughout the season, Rozuk's really been trying to like come into his own and like find himself, as cliche as that sounds.
Okay.
And this is a huge part of it.
Okay. All right. Chae, how about you?
I think for me, like, lava bending represented the ability to defeat Naozao for a long time. And that was always wrong. And the desire to attain that strength, just to like have it because it was good enough to beat Naozao, was never enough to like push me to actually be able to do it. So I think what the realization that Chae had about the responsibilities he has as a descendant of the Fire Nation and the responsibility he has to people around him, he wants that strength, not for himself or not, not for any personal reasons, but to protect the people around him and to carry the burden of his ancestry.
Okay. I think that the dragons agree with that. I like both of those. Those are good answers. Is the technique easy to grasp based on your current training experience and skills? I think for both of you, absolutely, yes. So you don't take a -1 to that. So you take a +1 for being in line with your center or free of conditions, and that's it. So just a +1 to this roll.
Cool.
I would like both of you to roll 2d6, add that +1. So Danny, not even prepared to play this game. He had to pull his
fire die
dice
and
out.
an earth die.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got an 11.
Oh, all right. All right, let's go with Chae first. Chae's an easy one. You get 10 plus. You learn it with ease, and it takes as little time as possible, which I think makes a lot of sense. You've done lava bending before. You you get it now. You latch on really quickly to this dance, and despite it being a firebending form, you can feel the power of this form allowing you to touch on a piece of the earth that you had never really been able to connect with before. And Rozuk, you watch almost immediately as Chae, with control and intention and precision, starts lava bending. So go ahead and you can mark that fighting technique as learned.
Rosa just goes, heck yeah, bro! And he starts clapping. Oh my god. Tell, you see that? He turns to a dragon. You see that? That's my brother right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Chae's unable to hide his massive smile and cheesing.
We're very proud of him. And Rozuk, you get back to it, and it takes you much longer. For whatever reason, there's something that's like blocking you. Now
I think-
you have a choice. You can either have it take more time than normal, or mark 2 conditions.
Well, considering I have 4 conditions marked, I feel a little cornered here.
You could get taken out of the scene.
No, I think. So you said there's something blocking Rozuk.
Yeah.
If I get taken out of the scene, will I still learn the technique?
Yeah, I think yes.
Cool. So I think it takes Rozuk a lot of time, and he's frustrated with it. And I'm sure that the dragon, whose name I forget, sees this frustration. The dragon's trying to teach Rozuk like a precise form of breath of fire, and Rozuk just isn't getting it. And the reason is because Rozuk, he's even unaware of it, but he has a lot of anger inside of him. And the dragons and Chae can see this sort of slowly boiling to the edge as he's just not getting it. Like maybe like even hours pass, and Rozuk just can't do it. And finally, just in just a gout of frustration, Rozuk just lets out a scream where maybe fire does escape from his mouth, but immediately after he just stomps away from the scene and just leaves in anger, because I don't think even he's satisfied with how it turned out. Even though he did end up breathing fire, he feels disappointed in himself because of that as well. So
are you marking 2 conditions?
Well, I can only mark 1.
So then to mark 2 conditions, you would be taken out.
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing?
That's what I was doing, yeah.
Okay.
Get wrecked.
Jeez. Okay. This is rough.
Do you also? It's the training move, right?
This is the training move. Yes.
Do you also have to shift both of our balances because you hit?
Yes, I do. Yep.
So if someone gets taken out doing the training move, do they not learn the thing?
No, they do. They do.
Okay.
They just have to process it
They
longer
just learn
while
it
in a
so
coma.
hard that it knocks them out.
Yeah. It's deep learning. It's
being
traumatic
taken
learning.
out doesn't mean you're unconscious. It just means that
Rozuk took himself out of the scene much in the same way when him and Chae were having the argument about Dosa in season 1. It was another stomping away. It's Rozuk's signature taken out of the scene move. He just stomps away.
Don't do it. I'll stomp away. I'm gonna
Go
do
sit
it.
on a stump while we talk to your brother.
I have some things that we have to do. So first off, you're taken out, and I got to shift both of your balances. So I'm not gonna lie, Danny. I think either way you would have been taken out of the scene.
Wait, why?
Because
I'm at center.
You're at center?
Yeah.
How are you at center? I'm looking.
Well, didn't he need to give you 1 yes earlier, and he gave you a yes, and he asked if he was at center or free of conditions?
Are you looking
But
at
he's
my
obviously not
fountain
free of
playbook?
condition.
Yeah, isn't that the one you're using?
Yeah, no, I'm exactly at center.
The one that says Foundling?
Yep, I'm right in the middle of Unity and Heritage.
Right in the middle, Justin.
Right in the
Right in the
center.
middle.
All of his conditions are marked.
Wait, what are you
Smack
saying?
dab.
I'm
Center.
looking at the wrong one, then I think.
Sounds like it.
Oh yeah, you're
It
looking at one that
sounds
says
like
Rozuk Launcher Foundling. Just a regular
Yeah, that's
Rozuk
what I'm
Launcher,
looking
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna delete that one. Okay, you're good. You wouldn't get taken out. That's fine. Sorry. All right. In that case,
Well, I do
yeah,
get
you
taken
do.
out, but
You do get taken out, but you let out this breath of fire and you scream, but you do it. And I think whereas before you've screamed and it has come out as a result of you screaming, this time when you let out this cry of frustration, you are intending to try and let out a breath of fire. And you do it.
Started with the foundling because I feel like both Unity and Heritage seem like such positive principles. You know, I was like, oh, I'm fine with going towards either directions. I love Unity and Heritage.
Just think about the dark side of both. You can play with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like church Unity.
I think you go for Heritage at that point, right?
Yeah, I think it's Heritage for sure. There's like anger and passion. So there's something about the dance and the way the dragons firebend. Maybe that's like Rozuk is gonna have to wrestle with, because I think up until now you've been kind of exploring what anger and passion means for your firebending, and now all of a sudden your first real firebending teachers are like, no, none of that, and something about that doesn't click with you, and you just leave in frustration. So yes, why don't you shift your balance towards Heritage?
Heritage.
And Chae, why don't you shift your balance towards Restraint? All right. Let's keep it moving.
So I just wanted to establish, like, the dragon dance is a duet, and so Chae keeps training with Rozuk the whole time.
Yeah,
and like tries to chill him out throughout the whole thing, and fails miserably.
Yeah, and then at the end of this, Rozuk just lets out this scream of frustration and leaves.
Chae looks like he wants to say something and just.
I'm sure Chae had that feeling of like he got something like so easily, right? And in that, like, through that adrenaline of accomplishing this feat, he's like, all right, now your turn, Rose. Like, come on, you got it. And he was trying to be so positive throughout this entire time, but it's probably in direct contrast to Rozuk's feelings throughout the training.
Does anyone go after Rozuk?
I think Chae would hesitate for a while.
But if he's not in the scene anymore, so we can't.
Stop it.
It's gone.
Actually, I was going to say,
we can't go
because I felt conflicted trying to think about Ren's response. And I think during the training, like watching the dance with the dragons, just partly just the majestic kind of element, but also just like excited. Like Ren is visibly excited for the launchers as they're going through the training. And by the time Rozuk is like exhausted and fed up and stomps off, I think Ren would just sigh and then kind of like kick back. I'm imagining that Osa is sitting nearby, Liko too.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Osa?
So I was going to say, Osa is sitting nearby, like just enjoying watching. And I think that throughout this process, he kind of is coming to an understanding, something that Nick just said, or that Chae just said, about this. This is a duet, and there's like two sides to this dance. And as an airbender, Osa tends to watch the forms, the way that people move, and the way that like kind of interacts with the air around them, and things like that. And especially watching the dragons, because they're flying when they do their version of the dance. And so I think when Rozuk gets fed up and stalks off, Osa probably like pipes up and goes, I can't bend fire, but if you need someone to dance still, Chae, I think I can do the moves.
Nice.
I don't really need it.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Need you.
No, I think I've got it. I just should I go after him?
I think he's fine. He just needs time to cool off.
People don't usually walk away to be alone because they want to be with someone immediately.
Except for me.
That's true.
Yeah, actually, I've found that to be the opposite to be true.
I guess when I leave, I don't want people to follow. But I tell you guys, don't follow me.
Yeah, you're very upfront about that desire, and I feel like you're one of the only people who it's accurate to say.
Every time Ren stomps off, he's always like peeking behind his shoulder.
Where are they?
I'm leaving. Don't you guys want to
I
storm
said
after?
I'm leaving.
Jay will give it a little bit. If Rozuk is gone for like 30 minutes,
30 days.
Jay will like
30 days,
look at-
30
like,
nights.
Go and look for him.
Plus, I mean, we're still in the presence of dragons, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that affects you, Jay.
He's trying to seem as, regal and adulty as possible.
Rozuk, how long do you stay at?
Yeah, Rozuk will, when he leaves, he just finds probably sleep. Where are we again? What was that?
You're on like an
location?
island.
An island.
You're just
yeah.
like on an island, yeah.
Probably just leaves and sits like on a rock out of sight, and just kind of sits there with his head in his hands for a while.
What are you thinking about?
So he's thinking about a lot of things. He's very frustrated because he's thinking about in the past where anytime he was able to accomplish a feat of higher bending, it wasn't due to accuracy of form or precision. It was due to high emotion. Like in the cave when Liko lost her arm, that was an act of desperation.
Yeah.
When he let out that gout of flame. In the arena, that was just another example of incredible frustration and anger when it happened. Same in the library. And he's very frustrated with himself because he feels because the first example of letting his anger get the best of him, he hurt someone who he loved the most at the time. He hurt his mother, and he feels like if he just continues to let his anger take the forefront of where his bending comes from, he's just gonna continue hurting people, and he won't,
And after some time, you come back. Now, I do see it on your sheet. You have unmarked your conditions. You do not unmark
I don't
your
do that.
conditions.
Okay. Beautiful. I'm fine with that, actually.
You still need to do the triggers to clear them. But Rosa comes back eventually.
Yeah, and when Rozuk comes back, he apologizes to the Red Dragon. And apologizes, probably bows again. And he looks up at the Red Dragon and says, Do you not feel an immense amount of anger looking around the world and seeing what's happened to your people? How can you not? I don't know. If I were you, I'd want to I say this in the show, I'd want to burn the Fire Nation to the ground, honestly. I'd want to wipe them from the face of the earth because of what they're trying to do to you.
And the face swoops down, bends down to look directly into your eye. You can feel the hot breath pouring from its nostrils. Yes. We feel anger. We are upset that the Fire Nation is systematically hunting us down. Our young, our old, We are but a handful when once we thrived. The world, young Firebender, continues to turn. And it does not turn powered by hatred. Anger is an emotion that will give you much power. Power to burn your enemies and take revenge on those that have hurt you. But it will stop there. And you will not grow any further. Anger has a way of stunting you as a person. The dragons used to have anger, but it is only when we overcame it that we became the original Firebenders.
Where do I find my inner power, my inner fire? Where do Firebenders find that, if not in anger?
Young one. And he snorts one last time and just like breathes this like hot air over you. Oh yeah, what?
I was gonna say, does this maybe trigger the Foundlings cultural bonds thing?
Yeah. Oh, cultural bonds.
When you try to connect with an NPC via a shared culture, roll with heritage. And on a hit, things happen. They shift your balance, and someone chooses one. I don't know if I choose it or you choose it.
Okay. Let's do it. That sounds fun.
Cool. I have a new playbook, new playbook things, new playbook founding things. Wow. Rolling with heritage. I forget, did you increase unity or heritage was?
I increased
heritage. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. That's a 7. I rolled 2 3s. So
on a hit, you shift your balance towards heritage again.
Okay.
And you choose one. You can choose they accept you, they grow to like you, they reveal their background, they offer solace, or they reveal a vulnerability.
It seems like, keeping in mind how he's already responded, they offer solace. Seems like they offer solace, or they grow to like you. Probably seems like the direction to lean towards.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like one of those more than the other.
No, it's you choose.
All
you
right.
tell me.
I'll
play around you.
All right. They offer solace.
Okay. This hot air from the dragon's breath just like washes over you, like your hair gets like pushed back, your clothes ruffle in the air, and the dragon looks at your friends. When all we are thinking about is to hurt those who have hurt us, we miss what is right in front of us. You have wonderful friends and a loving brother. Do not miss those, young Firebender.
Thank you. And I think Rozuk will go. He'll say, "Go up the chase." I'm sorry. Kind of storm away a lot, huh?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I do.
Is that a thing? You do? Oh, okay. Then I don't have to worry about it.
You want to keep
These guys, they were playing it up, man. They were really making me worried.
Oh. No, I was gonna come back for parties.
That's hoping. So you want to keep at it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
I would like you, Rozuk, to unlock a couple conditions.
Okay.
One is troubled, because I think you sought guidance from a mentor or powerful figure.
That makes sense.
And why don't you go ahead and unmark angry as well, too?
If Rozuk was still angry after that whole interaction, then it would have just been all for naught. And I feel like,
Yep.
Justin, this happened a while ago, and I didn't want to break where we are. Can the bit of advice that Chae got from the dragon also clear his trouble? When he was trying to take responsibility for all of the actions of the Fire Nation. And the dragon was like, no, you're 16.
Huh.
You can give me a no. It's no.
I don't think you intentionally sought the advice of a mentor or
No,
powerful
that's fine.
figure. I think you got something, but you weren't looking for it.
Totally fair. Second thing. Does attacking that entire army clear anger?
Count as a foolhardy. Wait, what is it?
Break something important or put others in danger. This is almost activating a volcano under a battalion. Count as putting others in danger.
Oh, probably. I'll tell you what. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Second.
What a benevolent GM.
It's a conversation. We're doing
Yeah,
it.
it's a conversation.
Great.
I gave him a no and I gave him a yes.
No, yes. Yeah, no. He gave it. He
Yeah,
gave
no.
you the
Yeah, no.
Midwestern.
I gave you the
Midwestern
Midwest. Yeah, no.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
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 well,
yeah.
as the people from the Midwest know, yeah, no just means yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And no, yeah means no.
It makes
And
no
no,
sense
no,
when you
yeah.
really think about it.
Means
But-
like really yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah. No, yeah.
And everyone else is like, what's going
What
on?
is happening right now?
I love being from the Northeast where we just say what we mean the first time around.
You never had one of those Midwestern goodbyes? Oh man.
Yeah,
I have
no.
good friends from Minnesota.
Yeah, goodbye
so
in the
I
Midwest does not mean
got
that.
plenty of that Midwest nonsense in my life.
Like goodbye in
there you
Midwest
go.
means
There
like
you go.
4 more beers, and then you can go.
Yeah. And then you can think about going.
Yeah,
all
there's a
right.
lot of thinking about leaving. Oh, look at the time.
As this sort of training time comes to an end, it's maybe like the next day. And there are now, including the red dragon, there are 4 other dragons. And they're sort of like outside of the cave now. And the one that you saved from Bossing Say and have been talking to goes, "We are going to go east. We have heard tell of a place for dragons to live. It is hidden. We do not want to tell you where. Please understand, it is not that we don't trust you. We are just trying to protect what little of our people are left.
But you'll be safe there.
We will be safe there.
That's all that matters.
If, in some way, you find yourselves face to face with the Sun Warriors, do the dance." And the dragons take off and go flying east.
I Chae, that
What the
last
heck
bit
is
meant
a-
nothing to me. I have
Yeah,
no
what
idea
the heck
he
is
was
a
talking
Sun
about.
Warrior?
Oh, was
It's
that
like-
dragon? Was that dragonish?
Was it a,
Oh.
I think
Is it
you'll
like a
know
spirit thing?
if you need to know, It'll come
Uh-huh.
up.
my immediate picture was like a guy made out
Yeah.
of sunlight.
Actually, I already
Just trying to
drew
punch
it.
me in the face.
Whereas like
Oh,
shows
wow.
you his notebook, and it's
Speed
literally a picture of this sun with a smiley face and like stick figure legs and arms. Yeah, a picture you look something like this maybe.
Yep, that's definitely what I was picturing.
It could
Yeah.
be. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Anyway, where to next?
Well, if you guys are done with dragon stuff,
All the dragons are gone.
yeah,
I was
the
wondering
dragons
about,
Go look for Gimo, right?
yeah, the letter that I
Right.
got. I don't know what he means, but he said that more of my extended family were with him. I've never met my
I think that
extended
means
family.
that there's more extended family with him.
I think it means that more of your extended family is with him.
Guys,
You guys are really, you're very good interpreters. Thank you.
maybe extended family. There's more dice rolling. Maybe some of them are cool.
That's
Hanging out
kind of
with
where
Gino,
that's kind
it's a
of
good
where
sign.
I'm at, Chae. Is that like I was kind of wondering if it's good news or bad news that he's with my extended family.
Well, Gimo is an intelligent person, right? I mean, he's You
he's the
trust him?
smartest
You
man I
think
know. Yeah.
then he's probably safe. I doubt that he would leave your family on Kyoshi Island and go somewhere equally dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Another frying pan and another frying pan.
Out of the fire and into the fire,
Yeah.
like a dragon.
Through the fire and the flames.
Right.
All right, let's go. Where are we going?
Where?
Do you have the
where is
map?
he?
Yeah. Pull up the map.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it in my notes. Was it Wolf Cove named specifically, Justin, or was it something more general to the region?
It is Wolf Cove,
Okay.
which the learned among you, which is honestly probably everybody
At this point.
At this point. Rozuk might be the only one who might not know what Wolf Cove is. But
Gonna
I'm
say the
sure,
learned.
I'm
Everyone but
sure,
Rozuk.
I'm
Well,
sure
according
Rozuk has heard
to
of it too.
Chae,
Yeah.
Rozak is a straight A honors student. So
He graduated
But also,
early.
according to Rozuk,
That's all I said.
he also didn't go for the last 3 years and somehow graduated early.
yeah. Well, that's no. He
incredible.
So
He graduated after 1 year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You would probably know that Wolf Cove is the capital of the Southern Water Tribe.
or was. Yeah.
It is still.
The notes you gave me in the initial revelation about Wolf Cove is that way back when it used to be the capital of the Southern Water Tribe.
It is
And
still
now
the
it's
capital.
plummeted
of the Southern Water Tribe.
economically into obscurity.
It has
So-
plummeted economically.
So that
is
wasn't meant to imply
still
it.
the capital.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
It was.
Places can
And
have
is.
crappy capitals, Steve. Have you ever been to Albany?
Yeah, but have you ever said, that was the capital? but it still is. Like,
Wait,
you know what I mean?
Is Wolf Cove where
Did you know
Soka and
Hartford,
Keitra
Connecticut
are
was
from?
the capital of Connecticut?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
where
the village we
Soka and
see.
Keitra found Ong in the iceberg.
Yeah.
Who found what?
Stop.
Where Soka and Keitra found
Yeah.
Ong.
Oh,
Danny, I know where
right.
you live.
Yes.
Forever banned from existence.
Yes.
I get kicked
What?
off the
So Ren,
podcast after
Ren looks at the map.
Out of
And
every scene.
he says,
from here on out.
it's very far south. And he points at this spot. Have you ever heard of Wolf Cove?
That's like as far south as you can get.
No, I mean, you could go a little further south.
I imagine it's very cold.
Yeah. That was so fun the last
I'm
time.
sorry in advance.
It's not your fault. We're just you gotta bundle up.
But it's not like everything's frozen. It's not land. I think it's mostly a system of chunks of ice.
Well, I think, it is on like technically like a glacier plate, but Wolf Cove is not terribly, in the grand scheme of things, far away from the Southern Air Temple. Like I've probably been there a handful of times, if not been able to see it from like my bedroom window growing up. But so like, yeah. So I'm just processing like where it actually is.
Yeah.
This is relationship to it.
Yeah, so you'll pass by a few places that are not like, if you make a direct line from where you are to Wolf Cove, you won't pass any of these. But along the way is the Water Tribe Sacred Island, which is exactly the midpoint between the Northern and Southern Water Tribe. You'll kind of be close to Chin Village. which is where this all started.
Throwback.
You got the Southern Air Temple down that way as well, and then Wolf Cove.
Yeah, I feel like traveling directly over the ocean the entire time might not be good because we'd have nowhere to stop. If we get hungry, it might not be realistic.
Andrew will get tired. Great thinking.
Andrew will get tired.
Are you hungry now, Rozuk? Do we just need to make some
always
food
hungry,
before we
Osa.
go?
We can just stop for
Osa,
lunch.
I feel like you left, and I was already always hungry before, and then you left, and I just fully took the responsibility of the hungry one in the group.
I get it, buddy. I'm going to show you how to sew more pockets into your clothes. It's going to change your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now he pulls out the bag. There's just a bunch of food, like stale. Hopefully not more.
Ren
This
was
is all-
beaming for a half second at Osa sounding like old Osa until he frowned at the sight of this food.
That's not food anymore. That's not.
Oh, it smells so good.
Don't do that.
Ren
Rozuk
just
just takes
rips
it and
it out of-
throws it
yeah.
into like a volcano vent nearby.
Ren was
For
like,
good measure,
"That
Chae
would've
just
been
like
good poison."
ignites the vent. It just spews lava. All right.
Whatever was in there was extra flammable.
We're also going
"There's
to talk
plenty
about
of
curing,
food."
salting, and drying food properly.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's also
so
plenty of
last
stuff
one.
left behind by these folks who just scrambled out of here.
True.
So let's
Ooh.
refill our stores.
I just
That is
don't
great
mind
thinking.
if I do.
I do want to, I'm sure that there's plenty, but I was going to say one thing I was thinking about that is like a gentle retcon, like a half retcon, is I want to kind of make sure in hindsight that Osa did take the time to make sure that the prisoners that he let out took whatever supplies they needed to get away safely.
Sure.
Nope, they just went on their way, and you're like, you can't take anything. That's ours now. No, they.
We claim
Obviously.
this in the name of Ren and the Four Elements.
Obviously, you let the prisoners. Not obviously, but yeah, you can definitely let the prisoners.
Yeah,
have some
everybody but
supplies. And
Psychon
there's
has stuff. I'm just kidding. Psychon has
still
too.
still plenty. Yeah, where are you guys headed?
Wolf Cove.
Unless there's anything else we need to do.
Straight.
I think.
You guys want to stop at the Spirit Island?
That sounds
Looking at
smart.
Osa?
Rose likes
At the
idea of
Spirit
stopping at
Island?
Spirit Island.
The Sacred Island?
The Sacred Island. Sorry.
We can. I think it's a sacred spot for the waterbenders. I don't really want to disturb it without having a specific reason to go.
Do we
All
think
right,
that
well.
any of the things Iron's looking for would be in a place like that? It seems important.
My personal guess is no, considering that the item, the water lily, was in the Northern Water Tribe, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm raising my hand. I will butt in here. It is a water lily that has been bathed in the spirit waters you find on the Water Tribe Sacred Island.
Oh, I just assumed that the spirit waters you were talking about were the pool that the
With the
Moon and Ocean
Moon
Spirits
and
are
Ocean
in.
Spirit, yeah. That's what I thought too.
No, that was not. It could be actually. My intention was there is a specific pool on the Sacred Island where spirit waters are able to be accessed more readily than the pool that has Tai and La.
It's
that
fair too,
case-
because I feel like given access to Tai and La, Iron definitely would have corrupted them.
Oh
and
yeah.
then that would have been a bigger issue.
The moon would
that's
just be
true.
gone. We're like, where'd it go?
Go.
Where'd the moon go?
I guess
The ocean's
I'd
acting real
assumed-
weird, guys.
I had assumed that he'd gotten the lily, like that the lily was like a prize for something and he'd stolen it. Not that he'd gotten access to the pool, but that it was a different thing. But with that in mind, forget everything I just said.
No, so you say it all. Liko clears it up for us.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, and then Liko says,
I will. Let me clarify. Monroe is having technical trouble again. We know that has been a very frustrating thing. It's frustrating for us too. We are very close to finding a solution, but bear with us. We apologize, and we will make it up to you somehow.
So Liko says, let's go to the Spirit Island.
What?
That seems like a correct course of action.
That sounds like Monroe.
You applied to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher?
I don't know.
Mr.
Potter.
Rip.
Oh. Hans Gruber, we hardly knew you.
What?
Gruber?
So I think it
hardly
might
know
be
her.
a place where we could find, like a lily or those waters.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's probably the right place to stop first. I definitely have not said anything to the contrary at any point before.
True.
Yep, no, none of us remember that. No.
So let's go.
Come along, Rue. Yep.
Stop it.
You take off en route.
We load up Rue with supplies, and then we take
Yes.
off.
Yes.
Excuse me.
So sorry.
Blessings
Just-
to you and your
Is
family.
this boring to you? Are you,
Yeah, I'm so
Do
bored
we
right now.
bore you?
you falling asleep?
I have a condition where I don't get enough air, and so sometimes I yawn to get a little bit more air into my lungs.
That's
Is that
actually just
condition known
yawning.
as the human condition?
Yeah,
That's the
that's
human condition.
how yawning works.
You fly for some time, and eventually you get to a pretty big-sized island that's about halfway between the northern and southern water tribes off the coast of the Earth Kingdom. And from this far up, one of the big things that you notice is that there are about 3 Fire Nation battle cruisers that are docked at places along the island.
You gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they are trying to take over the world, so you might as well expect them to be everywhere.
But how many people could be on this island?
I don't know.
Enough to warrant 3 cruisers.
I
Maybe
don't
we
want
could
to
sink
burn
'em.
those. I don't want to burn those cruisers to the ground.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I still have those Fire Nation robes from the camp.
How many?
Just mine.
Wait. How big are the robes?
I mean, I got ones that were a good fit for me.
Okay, wait.
You know?
Well, I'm just retconning that Rozek's sitting directly behind Ren. And Rozek starts like shuffling his way into the shirt behind Ren, into the robes.
The two
It's a
person.
crop top.
We could stack on top of each other and go into a movie theater and be a tall person.
What?
Yeah.
Into a what?
We established Rozek is like the second tallest of us, so
Right.
there's a very
there's-
tall person.
3 cruisers at the island. I could try and draw them away and circle back when they're not near the island.
All 3 ships? I was just going to suggest we touch down somewhere discreet.
Hey, if you give me a couple of bombs,
Oh,
We
okay.
might
I
be
was
able
gonna
to
say, if it's gonna
do
be some
something?
spooky spirit stuff, you shouldn't do that.
no.
How about we do high risk stuff after we already find the probably hard to find, very precious, rare items?
Can I maybe throw out that my plan is the least risk to the highest number of us?
You're just gonna bomb them?
I'm gonna glide past and move faster than we can all move en route safely, and drop bombs on the ships and let them see me and follow me away while you guys land on the island without them noticing because they're chasing me, and then I can glide up and out of their range and circle back.
That seems so safe.
It does seem
Seems like nothing bad can happen at all.
a really good plan.
Well,
Okay, Rozuk, hey, do me a favor. Never say that again. Ever.
oh,
Out loud.
sorry.
Nope. Just don't. Osa, sounds like a great plan. You know how to use these, right? And he just starts pulling out.
Maybe drops one in the water. You're like,
Osa, you start pulling out. I'm assuming that you kind of just go into like showing how to do it.
Yeah.
And so Osa's like, you've never seen him so focused on what you're showing.
Yeah, so you pull
is
this.
good. Okay.
And then you drop it as fast as you can.
All right. Seems
It's
to
actually
pull it
pretty
before you drop it.
Yes.
Thank you, Rozuk. Yeah.
Because then, like that one I just dropped, it just does nothing.
Yeah,
Just fell into the water.
it's actually really sad.
Yeah, that's a big waste. I did.
Do you have enough for me to take 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like put them in my pack that I keep on.
Yeah, I imagine we all have like our own personal like pouch on the large saddle. And in Chae's, it's just bombs. It's just he just opens it up. He's like, yeah.
Because I'm sure Chae
It's
also
4.
got more bombs from the Fire Nation encampment as well.
Oh,
You got more probably
Yeah.
materials to make bombs. Yeah.
has Osa ever seen you use those like flashbang things that Shoban made for you?
I think I used one this season. I can't remember when.
Was it during the Ko's fight?
I don't remember if you
I
have.
feel like I remember. Yeah, I feel like I remember using one once this season, but I don't know if it would be in a context that Osa would have like seen it or been paying enough
Seen it.
attention to like
Yeah.
know that they're a thing for that to be a factor in his plan. So never mind.
Yeah.
I guess the point of flashbangs is you don't see them. You can't really see anything.
Wait, we're not talking
Then
about
you do.
flashbangs. He didn't know about them. But Chae says
Oh,
this might grab their attention and pulls out a flashbang. This one's pretty easy. You just shake it really hard so that the interior ampule shatters, and then you throw it, and it'll burst into light and noise and be very disorienting if it happens near someone, but it'll be very attention grabbing if you do it a pretty safe distance from people.
make sure you shake it before you throw it.
Thank you, Rozuk. Yeah. Okay.
I just said
All right. You guys stay high until I am near the ships. When you hear the explosions, fly around the other side of the island.
How can we stay high? We don't have any more cactus juice.
he meant altitude. Like
Oh. Okay.
what?
And I look at Chae when I say this, but like there's that, you know how sometimes like you can tell someone is like talking to someone else when they're looking at another person. Like there's like, it's very clear that I'm saying this to Ren, but I'm looking at Chae as I say, no matter what happens, you guys don't follow me and don't try and get into a fight. I'm gonna be okay as long as no one else shows up to drag us down. Okay?
Got it.
Okay.
I can get away if nobody else is there, but if you guys come and try to fight, we're in trouble.
All right.
Why would I try to come and help you? We're completely safe up here.
That's my point. Thank you, Rozuk. Yes.
Okay.
Understood.
And with that, I pop open my glider and just fall back off of Rue.
Very
Oh.
cool.
Weird way to say I love you guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
Don't follow me.
Listen, is it
I'm
clear
better
from
off without
looking
you.
down? Is it clear that there's like a significant settlement, like people living on this island? Like it's not just a lonely sacred place; it's an inhabited sacred place that 3 ships are now dumping soldiers to manage.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. There is a village here, a town. This is what you would know about this probably is that the Sacred Island is sort of like a meeting place for the 2 tribes to come together occasionally and talk through any problems that they may have between the 2 of them. So with that, they aren't here all the time, but they do have some people that live here, probably like spiritual leaders who kind of upkeep and take care of the island when people aren't there.
Like the guard stationed on the DMZ.
Like the guard stationed on the DMZ. But now the Fire Nation is occupying this island and this village. Probably you don't see any waterbenders. So you don't know if they're still there or But
does it seem like overkill that there are these 3 large ships for this small island with relatively few inhabitants?
Why don't you assess the situation?
Why don't you make me?
Yeah, I think he just did. I think he just did when he asked.
Yeah, that's true. That is the way a GM makes you assess the situation. Let's.
And I will answer your question, but it seems like you're trying to find out something else. So why don't you just go ahead and roll that?
All right, a 6.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Can I possibly assist with that to make it a 7?
Sure.
Help my assessment.
Tell me what you do.
Specifically, I wanted to point something out. So I didn't want to say this while Osa was here, because then he wouldn't do what he just did. But they probably have already established like forward operating bases, so getting rid of the ships won't get rid of all of the soldiers. There will probably be dudes regardless. Still helpful. Also, I genuinely think Osa is safer doing whatever he's doing so that he doesn't do any more of his creepy Destiny stuff to save us. Mm-hmm. So that's why I just let him go.
Okay.
The other side of this is we're going to kind of do the plan sooner so that we're a little bit more ahead of Osa and kind of get in there a little earlier. And
get ahead of his scary Destiny stuff.
Between that and then also sort of like lending my expertise to like the positions and what I know of Fire Nation tactics, that's how I'm like assisting with assessing the situation.
I hope you're right.
Okay. Go ahead and mark that fatigue, Chae, and we'll bump that up to a 7. So you can go ahead and ask me one question from the list, and I will answer you as well on your question of is it abnormal?
I think the most prudent to searching for a lily or sacred waters, spirit waters, would be something like, what should I be on the lookout for? Whether that's an indication of a sacred place or something like that, or a place like a lily garden, I don't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, from up here, I'm assuming you're pretty decently high.
Yeah.
You can like kind of see the like outline of structures, along the coast. And it looks like maybe there's a path into the interior of the island, and there is like a mountain in the middle of the island that has some more structures like dotting along the base of the mountain.
Okay.
And to answer your question of like, is this abnormal? To Chae's point, this is a great forwarding base to go to the Earth Kingdom and to the Southern Water Tribe. It's very accessible from here.
It's essentially a midway.
Yeah. And B, this is a very important place for both of the water tribes. So by holding it and keeping it, they are holding a very strategic, essentially like a strategic captive that they're thinking you would imagine would make the water tribes think before like attacking their sacred island. It's a very, very strategic and defensive move on their part.
It really stops them from talking to each other as easily too. All right. Let's swoop down. You swoop down. Before you swoop down, let's go over to Osa. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I am gliding down and using air to like push, like propel, like as an airbender does with their glider. But I'm moving fast, but I want to swoop down over the beach because I'm assuming, I'm not an idiot, I don't think everybody's still on the ships. I'd never thought that in the first place. But I am going to swoop down over the beach and drop though a couple of those flashbang type things on the beach, and one of the bombs to try and gather attention, and then fly past the last ship and swoop back, and then in quick succession as I fly over the ships, I want to drop a bomb on each of them.
Okay.
And
Go
then,
ahead and give me a trick.
Cool. That's okay. That's an 8.
Okay. You get to pick one.
Let's say that they act foolishly.
Okay. You get an additional opportunity. What is the additional opportunity? Well, I think, first off, I think it's going to be kind of difficult to get all 3 ships to leave, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, why would they just not take one and pursue you? Why do they need to take all 3?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, can I clarify a couple of things?
Please.
Is my intention is not necessarily to get every soldier who is here to follow me somewhere. I'm just trying to get attention so that a dragon can land on the island without attention on it.
I understand. Okay. Then here is the additional opportunity. As you come down to the beach and are closer, you can see that inside one of these huts, you see a bunch of water tribe people bound and tied up. And I will say that then the additional opportunity is that as you sort of fly away, you see a number of the soldiers, not all of them, but a good number of them, get onto one of the ships to try and pursue you and attack you from the ship. And it's all of the soldiers that were guarding these water tribe people. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So then with that, I don't really have any way of indicating that to anybody. But,
maybe not.
I mean, I have my haul from afar move, but that's not really useful here. But yeah, no, I'm gonna glide up and kind of keep myself like out in front and be like making just kind of like figure eights and S patterns in the sky.
Yeah.
Trying to keep eyes on me, but also avoid any projectiles.
Yeah. Let's I'm trying to decide. The entire point was to get attention away, and you have their attention. So let's move to the other people as you guys land. I would like whoever's sort of leading this charge to push their luck still.
I think that would be Chae.
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to say rely on your skills and training. I'll say it would have been a push your luck had Osa not been able to grab their attention.
Cool.
9?
Okay. 9. All right. When you land, you do it so silently. There is one patrolling Fire Nation soldier who sees you land. And unless you mark a fatigue to take him out very quickly, he will go run and inform other Fire Nation soldiers.
I'll spend the fatigue. I will Sokka him from the episode where they were like, we don't know where Sokka fits in this episode. We're just going to stick him in this hole. That's what he's just going to be in a hole. Just
his head's just
move
above the ground.
Such a good episode, though.
If he starts like screaming or something, I just stuff a rag into his mouth.
Yep. He does. He starts screaming at first. He's like, hey, I need help over here.
I pat the top of his head. Stay.
Rozuk will like search in his pack, find whatever like the first. Maybe he has like extra hats and just put a hat on his head. Hat category. There you go.
They look pretty.
Does this seem like a place that would give us an opportunity to get a number of Fire Nation outfits if we wanted them, Justin?
I think you're gonna have to explore a little bit more to do that.
Roger.
Yeah, this is like you land it maybe like on a beach where no one really is, and there's just this random Fire Nation soldier.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Out on patrol and whatnot.
Out on patrol.
Just a stack of uniforms on this beach.
I'm just talking about like a little hut for some tea time and changing. You know what I'm saying? Try to live well.
Yeah,
in the Fire Nation. If they've been set up for a bit.
Classic Fire Nation changing huts.
Some sun lotion, shades.
Oh,
a buoy.
Also,
Rozuk business
Rozuk-
when you set up a forward operating base, set up those changing huts.
Yeah,
you just have the changing.
That's the first thing you gotta do.
Rozuk will also take like a bunch of brush and like leaves and put them all on top of the head of the Fire Nation soldier, so he's hidden. Smart. Oh no!
Excuse me.
Oh, he's
dying slowly.
He's choking. Take the rag out.
Quick, take the rag out. This is a beautiful island too. Like it's weirdly not what you would expect of something that is said to be claimed by the water tribes. It's lush and beautiful. You know, there's like really gorgeous looking trees and vegetation and wildlife, and this mountain that kind of pokes out over the tree line in the middle of the island.
Beach.
I expected to be colder.
Yeah, it's not as cold as you thought it'd be.
So we go to the top. Anyone know where the actual? Wait, what are we doing?
I barely even knew this place existed before we came.
Oh, we're looking for the lily. That's right.
think that mountain has some promising places where the snow melt gathers. I don't think the water lilies would grow on the salt water here out on the beautiful beach. I could be wrong.
It's a solid point. Up the mountain we go.
Up the mountain you go.
As we go, Justin, Ren is just scanning for the signs of the way that the Fire Nation has handled this place. Do doors look bashed in? Does it look like there were signs of struggle? Is anyone walking out and about that isn't in Fire Nation garb? Because if it's only Fire Nation folks, we need to go for the outfit change probably, or stealth, which we're not that great at.
Yeah. As you are walking, you do sometimes pass through like a small number of huts, maybe some small houses. And there's signs of struggle. Some of the like wood is splintered. Some of the doors are broken in. You can see like probably what looks like, marks of like someone dragging someone through the dirt. And at least on this side of the island, it is quiet. It is quiet. As you push past through the trees, the center mountain comes into view. There's these like beautiful, like almost Grecan-looking statues and like pillars that are like around the base of this mountain, indicating that this appears to be like the meeting place. You also see a steel wall surrounding the entire base of this mountain, as well as a number of lookout towers, all dotting the entire wall, as you see Fire Nation soldiers in those lookout towers.
Wow. Does the steel wall look new relative to the other structures? Like, this looks like it's crafted like Fire Nation stuff. Because, I don't feel like anyone uses steel except them. Not much.
Yes, it looks very new.
Guys, they're not just here to hold a choke point. I think they're here for the lilies.
What?
I think they're protecting it from people like Ira.
Why?
Huh?
I mean, they would need fortifications anyway, and it may just be that this is the center, and this is the place that they protect by the mountain. It's a good defensible position. But I don't know, it just looks like they've devoted so much manpower to protecting this sacred place. I could be wrong.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Ask one of the guards. Hello?
Hey, you happen to know what happened here?
I thought Krusty the Clown was the Fire Nation soldier. Hey kids!
Oh no!
Oh,
You're all under arrest.
Can we cut back to Osa really briefly?
I was going to. Yes.
Cool.
I was going to say, like, as they see this, we cut to Osa flying around. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I think at this point, I've been just paying attention to evading and keeping attention. I haven't been watching necessarily where they are, but I have a feeling it's probably been enough time for them to do what they need to do. And so I am going to fly. I fly up. Kind of what as far as I know, is kind of out of range of any sort of like cannons or things like that they have, but still visible. And gonna do one thing I said I wasn't gonna do, but it's gonna be the last time for a long time. And I'm gonna use my tremble before me move and kind of like burst out like this like phoenix, except this time instead of just being like red and orange flame, like anyone who sees it, there's like a twinge of like purple and like a dark blue mixed in there. That touch of corruption is here. But I do that, and so it's like intimidate on a 10+. So for you, Justin, I'm choosing that the thing that they can't do that I choose is run to escape or get back up. But I show that aspect, and almost as soon as I do it, as soon as I reveal that, I drop back into like my normal form and close my glider and just drop out of the sky, just for the sake of picking up speed. And at the last second, when I'm at water level, I'm going to open the glider up again and just start like moving towards the island as fast as I can.
Okay.
The bat symbol.
Here
Like, oh, sad to hell.
is what we're gonna do. So I think the most natural thing for them to pick would be to attack you, but off balance.
Okay.
Now,
sure.
that would be going into an exchange. We're not going to go into an exchange, Osa, against an entire frigate of Fire Nation soldiers. So I was going to make you push your luck.
Okay.
I will, because they're off balance, I will make it a rely on your skills and training as well.
Oh, the dice gods are pleased with me this day. It's with focus. So that is a 10.
Okay. All right. As you go hurtling down towards the island, you can feel the hot fire just screaming past you as dozens of fireballs are arcing your way. And yet, somehow, none of them connect with you. Was it Hwashu protecting you with what could be his last strength? Are you just lucky? I don't know. We'll find out. But none of the fireballs hit you, and you, as you're like, we're like following you, like hurtling, and it looks like you're going to hit the ground, and then you like swing the glider out and go taking off, soaring closer towards where you thought they're going to be, completely unharmed.
Awesome. And just so you and all of the listeners know, that puts me at the top of my destiny track again. So now I
swear to God, John.
I have all but my last destiny sign.
Wow. What is the last destiny?
The one that I just marked, or the last one that's coming up?
Well, the last one that's coming up is you meet your fate. What's the last one you haven't chosen?
Inner strength. So once per
Okay.
session, I can mark destiny twice to clear all conditions.
Cool. And we'll play around with that just based on the timing of it. I'll be like, enough time has passed.
He's so powerful.
Jeez. That is very powerful. All right.
You're gonna get 3 destinies, right? Between each, like.
I get a 5.
5.
Oh,
So you could use that one twice, theoretically.
Johnny, we did this so you wouldn't have to do something like that.
That's who Osa is.
I was
just why
trying
we should
not
have
to
listened
laugh
to Ren.
when Nick was saying that he just let Osa do this so
Shay
he
said
couldn't do
that.
any. Fair enough. When
Shay
Shay
said
said
all of that.
that he
Yeah.
let Osa do it so that he wouldn't do any spirity stuff, because I was like, I'm doing spirity stuff.
I'm doing
yeah, no,
spirit.
it just makes it really
That's
funny.
That's my whole thing.
I think it's nice because Ren doesn't see it, so we'll have the
that
face
is true.
repercussions
There's
of rending
There's
matter.
less of the psychological cost.
And I'm all wrapped up now, so you can't see any of the effects of it either.
It's
Good old Mumiosa.
Good old Mumiosa.
Mimosa.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah, I want a mimosa today.
I want to almost it today. We will cut to the 3 of you as you're like debating what you want to do. 4 of you.
Monroe is
with
not
Liko.
here, but Liko is still.
Liko is there. Monroe is not here. Yes, the 4 of you.
Liko, what do you think we should do?
I mean, we gotta get those water lilies, right?
Right.
Somehow we can't let them have it.
I could knock the towers down.
How?
Ren has already put on his Fire Nation uniform. I suggest you guys get things like this because this place is very well defended.
I think we should.
Well, we
swing over
left
this
that guy down in that hole.
Yeah, he can be there a while.
But he had a uniform.
He had a uniform.
Yeah, there are other uniforms. Look at this place.
I can. You know what I can do? I can like walk and be like, "Hey, I lost my uniform and firebend." And like, I'm a firebender, but I don't have my uniform. I lost it. I'm firebending, so I'm a firebender. Please give me my uniform, please.
Let's just
I'm
try
not
to
just gonna
find
bring you a
some
uniform.
uniforms that aren't on bodies currently and try to use those. There's got to be a warehouse around here somewhere.
Well, that's going to be in like the forward operating base. We have to like go down the mountain. We could try like one of these towers.
We could try to be sneaky without uniforms.
We'll sneak without uniforms until we can sneak with them.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
I'm not big on this sneaking thing.
I know.
How do we?
It's fine. All right,
kinda
Che.
broad
Now
daylight.
metal bend us at the word.
What? You can't bend metal, dude. Don't be.
Yeah, no one can
crazy.
do that.
I don't know how
Yeah, it's-
bending works.
It's not possible.
Aren't there like earth molecules in metal? Shouldn't it be possible?
What the heck is a molecule? What are you talking about, man?
No one has ever done that.
Metal is metal. Earth is earth. There's obviously no connection.
Okay.
And lava is just hot earth. So there's really no reason to not be able to.
I didn't go to school for the last 3 years.
Your education is so elemental. All right, let's go. On Chase's suggestion, Ren heads
Elementary.
towards a tower,
Okay.
hoping that, in the change of guard and these sorts of things, there's at least some small storage place somewhere.
Okay.
Given that you'd have to go up an entire mountain, the dudes in the towers would probably be staying in the towers.
Right.
At least for a stint of time.
Yeah.
So we have a chance.
Are you trying to sneak up to one of the towers?
Yes.
Okay. Ren, why don't you give me a push your luck?
I'm not sneaky. I can't just rely on my skills.
No. You're sneaky.
You
No
are
one
very
else here is.
sneaky. I feel like it is a very difficult thing that you are doing. You are out in the open trying to sneak up to a tower of people that are literally watching to make sure that nobody sneaks up to the tower.
Did you guys leave Rue on the beach?
I mean, wherever we landed discreetly, we would leave Rue, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I'm just like bearing in mind that I think Osa would be able to find her relatively easily. All of that. Can
Much
we say
easier,
enough
yeah.
time has passed for me to be like catching up to the area they are if I'm not exactly
Yes.
with them yet?
I'm not going to be like, how do you find your friends? Like I'm not interested in that.
Use the bat.
Give me a survival roll to make sure that you
Mark?
can follow the tracks.
Mark doomed to find your friends.
No, please. So it is a push your luck, Justin? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I if you make a good argument, I'm willing to reconsider.
I mean, I was making assumptions about like at least limited tree cover towards the base of the mountain or things like this.
I think I said that the tree cover stops around
Okay.
the base of the mountain.
Yeah. And then there's a giant steel wall. Okay. Oof. I'll just take the roll. If you guys can use the help action as needed, then great. Nope. Oh, it's a 7, but you need a 10 plus to be fabulous. But yeah.
Hey, Steve,
accept.
you're fabulous.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You know what it is? I think this is fun. And we'll end here. Steve, you successfully get up to the wall without being seen. You kind of like wait, you're like watching the guards and their like gaze will shift to the left. So like you move right and like come around, you know, they look right and you kind of skirt to the left. But somehow you get there unseen. Rozuk and Chae, you were watching Ren, and it's kind of impressive because he's literally out in the open and somehow finds his way under the tower, like right under the ledge where the guards are.
That's my boy.
And then Rozuk,
He's doing great.
you hear a twig snap behind you as tentacles of water wrap around the two of you. Ren, you're like looking and you see Rozuk and Chae get lifted up into the air by these like tentacles of water, still behind the tree line.
turned on us.
And Liko too. Sorry, 3 tentacles.
I found
of water.
a fountain.
Yeah, you see Liko and the launchers get covered in these water tentacles.
Get tentacled.
And get tentacled. And get dragged back further. Dragged back further into the tree line. And Chae and Rozuk and Liko, the last thing you hear is, "What are you doing? You're gonna ruin everything." And we will see you next week. Fun stuff.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Good stuff. Amazing. Good
You know,
stuff.
I go places just to get scolded, apparently.
Yeah, of course.
I'm feeling it.
The Southern Warrior Tribe isn't going to go down without a fight.
I'm grateful.
We'll find out what happens next week. In the meantime, you will have to wait another week. I know, I'm sorry, Danny, but I can't keep going. We gotta go.
There's the price to pay for quality storytelling.
Yes, we can't just keep going and going and going. We gotta take breaks. I need to rest my mind and my voice. Johnny, hit us with one last impression of your choice.
Guys, this has been a lot of fun. As Justin Nita, your GM, I'm super glad you were here with us today.
And we will see you next week. We hope you enjoyed exploring the Four Nations with us. Bye.
Bye.
Spot on.
Bye.
It's so accurate.
The Flying Bison Podcast is an independent podcast. If you feel like directly supporting the show, please check out our Patreon. While the Flying Bison Podcast seeks to emulate the tone of Avatar: The Last Airbender, this is an improv tabletop role-playing game, and the actors may briefly depict scenes with more mature story elements. Avatar Legends is developed and produced by Magpie Games. The worlds of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: The Legend of Korra are property of Viacom CBS. Intro music is Dizu by Senbei, and outro music is Tokyo Funk by LATG Music. Logo and art by Cate and Matthew Mahnke. You can find more of their work at pomakin.com. Link in the show notes.